In the ongoing conflicts between Ukrainian and Russian forces, a series of deadly assaults by Ukrainian military units has resulted in significant losses for Russian troops across various regions of Ukraine. Footage has surfaced showing drone operators from Ukraine's 110th Brigade eliminating Russian soldiers. The video captures soldiers carrying a wounded comrade into a culvert under a road. One soldier, lagging behind, is struck by an FPV drone and staggers before collapsing to the ground. The soldier is struck again by the drone and dies as his companions watch helplessly from the entrance. A second FPV drone then enters the culvert and inflicts further damage on the remaining Russian soldiers. In Novoye-Horivka, Luhansk region, Ukrainian assault troops launched a coordinated attack on a Russian position supported by 2 tanks. The tanks overwhelmed the enemy, forcing Russian soldiers to retreat into trenches and dugouts in disarray. Several Russian troops were killed in the process. Ukrainian forces then stormed the position, offered the enemy the option to surrender, and took the surviving Russian soldiers as prisoners. Meanwhile, in the Donetsk region, Ukrainian forces also delivered significant blows to Russian armored units. A Russian T-80 BVM tank ran into a minefield barrier and was struck by an FGM-148 Javelin anti-tank missile. The tank was completely destroyed as it caught fire. Ukrainian drones continued their assault, targeting Russian soldiers with precise ammunition drops, causing serious losses near the village of Ukrainka. Soldiers from Ukraine's 110th Separate Mechanized Brigade successfully eliminated a Russian armored convoy attempting to break through Ukrainian defenses. During the fighting, Russian forces launched an assault, but they were defeated by precise strikes and effective counterattacks. In Sherbanivka, Donetsk region, Ukrainian FPV kamikaze drones attacked a Russian Desert Cross 1000-3 buggy, which was carrying 8 soldiers. The force of the blast sent most of the soldiers flying, leaving 1 dead at the scene. The driver and passenger continued to drive, seemingly unaware of the devastation. A second FPV drone eliminated 2 Russian soldiers who tried to flee. Finally, in Torsk village, Russian forces attempted to storm Ukrainian positions with a T-80 BVM tank and a BMP-2 infantry fighting vehicle. However, Ukrainian FPV kamikaze drones and a Nemesis attack hexacopter quickly neutralized both threats. The T-80 BVM tank tried to retreat but was destroyed, and the BMP-2 exploded in a fiery blast, scattering debris across the battlefield. The conflict between Ukrainian and Russian forces escalated over the past 24 hours, with a staggering 162 clashes across the war zone, according to the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. The fiercest fighting was concentrated on the Pokrovsk, Kurikov, and Vremivka fronts, where nearly 90 Russian attacks were recorded. Ukrainian defense officials reported significant Russian casualties, with 1,690 soldiers killed or wounded. Additionally, Ukraine claims to have destroyed 7 Russian tanks, 29 artillery systems, and 19 armored combat vehicles during the same period. In the Kramatorsk direction, Ukrainian forces neutralized 2 Russian tanks, including the advanced T-90M Prorov model, and destroyed 3 infantry fighting vehicles carrying troops. Soldiers from Ukraine's 5th Separate Kiev Assault Brigade successfully repelled a massive enemy assault in the Ivanivsky-Klishchivka area, delivering devastating losses to Russian forces. Ukrainian drones have continued to play a critical role in countering Russian forces. North of the village of Spern in Donetsk region, drones struck a Russian position, destroying equipment and inflicting injuries on the enemy. FPV kamikaze drones delivered precise strikes that further decimated the opposition. Andriy Yusov, a representative of Ukraine's defense intelligence, estimates that approximately 600,000 Russian troops remain in temporarily occupied Ukrainian territories. While Russian losses are reportedly increasing, the number of deployed troops has remained consistent. Russian forces have also intensified efforts in Kherson Oblast, with reconnaissance and sabotage groups attempting daily to establish positions on the Dnipro Islands or cross to the western bank of the river. Kherson Governor Oleksandr Prokudin stated that all attempts to secure a bridgehead on the west bank have been thwarted, with saboteurs eliminated. In the village of Sherbanivka, Donetsk region, Russian forces launched an assault supported by MT-pound units attempting to land soldiers behind Ukrainian lines. Ukrainian FPV kamikaze drones intercepted and destroyed the MT-pound units, successfully halting the attack.